Hey guys, this is Locke. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can automatically set up your skill timers to work in auto battles. I've shown this in several videos actually, but people have said, oh, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. I think a lot of people don't know about it, so you should really talk about it and only talk about that in one of your videos so more people are aware. So I'll go from the basics and I will explain what it is and why you want it and how to set it up. So in this fight, for example, you want your cleanser, in this case Enna, to only do her skill after the boss does his ultimate. And you can do this manually, like you can take that off, and after he does his ultimate, then you can click it to make sure that it goes off exactly then. But then you're not playing on auto anymore. And you have to kind of babysit this, and maybe you don't want to do that. But basically, what you're doing is like after the boss does that, this is what you want to do. And there's a way to set this up to be done on auto and it to work 100% of the time, which is what I'm going to show you. So first, to do this, you want to figure out exactly the cast time of the boss's skills. So if you click on a skill, you will see at the bottom it says recharge time. So in this case, 6 seconds. So you can count that to see when the boss will cast his skills. So here you want to see what time this skill is. So let's count. So here it's 6 seconds. So here we'll cast the second skill at the 12th second, 18th second, and then the 24th second. So you really want her to cast her first skill after that. So how you would set that up is on the deploy screen, there's a button on the right side where you can click. Sorry, I'm going to delete one of these so I can show you how to do it from scratch. Okay, so this is your deploy screen. You will click the button on the right side, the third button down, which looks like this. You'll click on empty box and you'll click save. And once you've clicked saved, you can then edit the skill timings of your skills. So in this case, I want to use her skill, it's only for the ultimate, not the battle skill. I want her to use this skill on the 25th second, right? Because the boss will cast his skill on the 24th second, and you want to cast 1 second after that. So the initial skill cast will be on the 25th second. Okay, and we will see now in this battle, she will cast her skill exactly when we want it, and it's done on auto. And if you notice, actually, on the bottom right, sorry, at the bottom where you can see their skills, she has like an hourglass. That means that she is set up to cast it exactly, at certain times. She's not going to cast it as soon as it's available like everyone else. So we can see that she is casting it right there at the 25th second. But she was able to do this automatically. I don't have to sit there and time it myself. I can just set this to work exactly as needed. But now, what about the next cast, right? Like typically she'll cast it once every 20 seconds, and that's not what we want because the boss will cast his skills once every 24 seconds. And we know that because we counted up all of these recharge timers. So we know that he will cast his skills every 24 seconds, and see, as you can see, our second cast is misaligned. So we need to set that up as well. And it's really easy to do that the way this game has laid it out for us. We can see that, sorry. So we edited the first skill cast to be 25 seconds, and the next skill will be at the 24th second. Because now the second number, you want it to be exactly the same as the boss's timer. So the first skill at the 25th second, and then every 24 seconds after that, she will be casting her skill. So we can see this is how it works. And then after that, I'll give you one more example, something else that you can set up. And then after that, but yeah, you can set this up to work on any boss fights. You can also set it up to work at the fights where there's more than one stage, but it's a little bit more complicated for that. Anyway, here's the first cast on the 25th second, and then we can see that after that, every 24 seconds, she will cast her skill. So it will be ready soon, but she will just not be casting it, which we will will, we will, see. Okay, so the skill is ready now, but she's not casting it. She's waiting for the boss to cast his skill, and now she will cast her cleanse. So there you go. So that works. That's exactly what we wanted to do. Now, as I said, I'll give another example. So how Sigrid works is that she will do an AoE when an enemy is debuffed. So one idea that I have here is that I'm going to use her. So first of all, the boss will cast. He will bring up the two birds on the 18th second, right? So what if you use an AoE skill to take the birds out as soon as possible? So since he will cast it at the 18th second, let's set her up to cast her skill on the 19th second, okay? And then Sigrid, her skill will be an AoE depending on whoever else is debuffed. So we will use Arena to no, Aola, sorry. We will use Aola to use her AoE skill to um, inflict attack penalty on the birds after they have spawned. And then after that, for Sigrid, we will set it to work slightly after Aola. So I'd say 19.5 seconds. And we want them to repeat this at exactly the same time frame. So we will do that. And now what should happen is after the boss spawns his birds, Aola will use her AoE, and then half a second after that, Sigrid will use her AoE, and the birds will be at very low health. And then after that, it's going to repeat every 24 seconds, every full cycle. So here's when the birds come up. She will cast her skill, debuff them, and then she will cast her skill and attack all of them. And Anna will again only use her cleanse after the boss uses his ultimate, and this will work like every cycle. Now, I don't actually recommend exactly doing this for this boss. I've I've done a different video where I talk about the Phoenix boss and exactly how you should tackle it. This is just an example to talk about the skill timers, but you can see this is working exactly as intended. Every 24 seconds, this will be repeating. So I hope this gives you a good idea of how to use this. This can work for any boss. You can see the skill timings of different bosses. I've talked in detail about another boss. I'm just going to briefly mention it because this one is the one that everyone should be focusing on, the Grave of Venom. If you aren't familiar with my other videos, I will very briefly mention what you can do. This boss's skill timing is too short. He will cast his skills once every 12 seconds, and your skills are 20 to 23 seconds. So what I instead recommend that you do is have two different units with attack debuffer and just cycle through them. So how I would set that up, I'm going to delete this and set it up here again. So how I would set that up is to do something like this. So the first one will go off at the 12th second, and then the next one will go off at the 22nd second because that is 10 seconds after the first one. Okay, and since now here I'm trying to cycle between both of their skills, so the timing of when Sigrid's debuff finishes and Arena's debuff starts and finishes is 20 seconds. So I'm setting this up to recast every 20 seconds, and you can see with the setup now the boss will always have the attack penalty debuff down after the 12th second. I have talked about this in another video. If you want more detail about how this works and why it works and so on and so on, please watch that video because it talks about it in more detail. But this is just very briefly explaining it. You will see that the boss will always constantly be debuffed with the attack penalty down. As you can see, it's refreshed here. I'll just wait for one more cycle when Sigrid uses her skill again, and then that's it for this video. So there you go. So this will basically always work. The boss will always be debuffed with this exact timing. And you can use this for any boss that you want. Sometimes some bosses are slightly, their turn cycles are slightly lower than you want it to be. Like for example, this boss. So what you would want to do with this one, and because this one is just 18 seconds, not 12 seconds. So you could do the same thing that I just showed you, where you can have two units cycle through their debuffs every 20 seconds. Or you can also, in this case, bring a unit that would apply the ultimate recharging speed down to slightly increase his recharge speed from 18 seconds to 20 seconds. So you can basically cycle through your skills at exactly the time that you want. Because for this boss, um, there are only, with the Harpy boss, you want to avoid getting hit by both skills, the one at the 6 second and the one at the 12th second. So you want to always consistently have the skill down. In this boss's case, that's not really the case because what you want to do here is you really want to have the attack penalty down only at before this attack, right? Which is the 18 second. And you also want to have somebody that would remove the buffs at this time, which is after the 6 second. So say you want to time this to be, at the well, it doesn't have to be exactly here, but anytime after the 6 second and anytime here right before the 18 second. So you would bring a unit to apply the recharge penalty down um, to hopefully, 20 seconds or above. You have to do this on a trial basis. Like you have to say exactly how long it'll take. It might not be exactly 20 seconds. It might be a bit more, depending on the units that you bring. And then once you have that down, you have to basically set uh, once you have it down at how often uh, the boss continuously uses his skills, you will edit the second number here to be consistent with that. Like say the boss is casting his skills once every 22 seconds, then you will increase the timer here for 22 seconds and 22 seconds as well. And you will also need to bring somebody that uses the buff removal after, at some point between the 6th second and before the boss uses his ultimate. That's really when you want to remove the buffs. So, but yeah, I've done a video on this as well, on this boss in detail. So if you want to know exactly how to beat this, you can take a look at that video. This is just to show you how to set up your skill timing and give an introduction to it. Uh, Hopefully it's clear. If there's still some questions, let me know and I'll do my best. I haven't been so responsive lately because I've been a bit sick, but I'm feeling a lot better now. Um, so yeah, I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys later.